guys, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Nandini and I am an artist and designer. Today I'm going to finish the painting I began in the last vlog. If you missed it, I talked about overthinking and shared a few painting techniques along the way. This painting started with self-doubt and the fear of not liking the final outcome, but through the process, I gradually overcame that. Anyone who loves creating art knows that the hardest part of the painting process is to begin, but now I am way past that. Hi guys, today I am working on this lotus right here and I want to finish as much as I can because I am kind of bored with this painting now. However, I have really cool ideas once I finish this painting. It's really special and I would want you to stick around for that. Usually when I start editing my videos, I have a rough idea of what I want to talk about. But this painting is different. Today I'll be discussing the struggles of being an artist because I don't want anyone on their creative journey to feel alone. So here's a little background about me. Ever since I was a child, I have always been the artistic and creative kid. My parents recognized my talent early on and the people around me loved what I created, making me feel special. From neighbors to family and family friends, I've been lucky to have been encouraged from a very young age. I truly thank everyone for that. I've always had this spark inside of me to experiment with different materials and mediums, which helped me develop an understanding of art supplies that has been invaluable. When I was in high school, I had to choose a career path. Despite knowing that painting was my true passion, I also excelled in academics and wanted to use that in my higher education. I forgot that a huge part of my education was also art. I took art and design for my GCSE and Visual Arts HL for my IB diploma. That has been a huge contributor for my practice as an artist. But I've always known that art comes from within me, and I absolutely hated being told what to do and how to do it. I enjoyed learning art through experimentation and research, so I knew a degree in fine arts wasn't ideal for me. Hi guys, I've kind of lost track of what day it is today of me painting, but something that I do know is that I'm halfway through with my painting and nothing excites me more than that. Anyways, today I also decided to be quite adventurous and I wore like white jeans and I'm probably gonna ruin it, but priorities. I've always been creative, not only in art but also in design. I had a passion for interior designing and pursued it. I am beyond grateful for everything I've learned in my degree and the experiences I had living in Mumbai. It made me a better designer and somewhat of an artist. I never missed an opportunity to visit art galleries in Mumbai and frequently joined art walks. I took almost every opportunity my college provided and it was incredible. I was good at designing, but I missed art every day. So I tried incorporating my artistic skills into my interior projects whenever I could. After completing my degree, I had to choose between continuing with something I was good at but didn't completely love, or finally pursuing what I had longed to do my entire life. I mean, it sounds like the obvious choice, but it was so hard to decide. The next year of my course, I was supposed to go to Milan, and the opportunity of the experience was irreplaceable. But after a lot of back and forth, I finally made my decision. Many people question my decision and still do, if I'm being honest, because I was so good at designing. But painting is a part of me that I cannot let go of. It might sound a bit dramatic, but I love it deeply. There's still little knowledge about artists making successful careers, and many believe in the struggling artist myth, but I have chosen to give this my all because I know I can make it work. Hi guys, I think that is it for today, like the painting session. I am quite tired. It has been a long day. It's currently 9 p.m. and something that I've realized is that I'm getting faster through the process, so I am hoping to finish this painting very soon, and I'm gonna be starting with a new one. I think it's again going to be about my scoliosis journey, but let's see if that's what pans out. But yeah, on a good note, I didn't dirty my jeans, and that is victory enough for me. If something is calling your name, I truly believe you should give it your all. There's a unique spark within each of us, a voice that whispers our true desires and passions. I would say if you have the means to follow it, you should embrace it with open arms. The only person you owe anything to is yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the one who must live with the choices you make. This world often tries to put you in boxes, labeling and defining you in ways that may not align with your true self. But remember, the only person who can stop you from doing what you really want is yourself. You hold the power to break free from those constraints and pursue the path that truly resonates with you. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows you as well as you know yourself. If you think you do not know yourself well enough, or you haven't discovered your calling yet, I believe that it is never too late. Finding your calling almost sounds spiritual, like each one of us is gifted. My gift when it comes to art is the feeling that I get when I practice it. This sense of passion, but at the same time relief. A feeling that makes me feel complete. Finding a sense of meaning in our lives is something that we all need. It makes us feel less stuck in a way. Another advantage of finding this sense of purpose is that we feel less self-centered, like we are contributing to the world in a positive way that is not based upon narcissism or our survival tendencies. One way that you can find your calling or purpose in life, and the one we will be discussing in this video, is Ikigai. The Japanese concept that means reason to live or reason for being. It can also be described as the happiness of always being busy. Now, I assume most of you have come across this blue book with a cute cherry blossom. That book is all about this concept. Basically, Ikigai is the reason we get up in the morning. It is a combination of things like what you're good at, what you love doing, what the world needs, and finally what you can be paid for. Clearly knowing what this means for you can bring satisfaction, meaning, and happiness in your life. Hi guys, it has been a long day. I've been working on this painting for the past 6 hours and we have completed a lot. So I had like laid initial layers on a lot of things which I put a second layer on. So that's like a huge chunk done and I'm really happy. I think my back's but that's that. All in all, it was a nice painting session day and I'm hoping to finish this painting as soon as I can. So wish me luck. Fun fact guys, the concept of Ikigai is the reason why Japan's life expectancy is so high. Specifically, the island of Okinawa has many people living over the age of 100. There are approximately 25 people over the age of 100 for every 100,000 inhabitants, which is highly unusual if you compare it with most countries today. So we really have a strong reason to believe in this, and also I feel like once we discover what gives us true satisfaction, we wouldn't even want these statistical measurements. I recently watched this YouTube video of a man going to Okinawa to observe their lifestyle and live amongst them, and it was so wholesome to see the people there. Through watching that video, I almost felt like there was no sense of toxicity there amongst the people. It felt so wholesome and pure, and I know that I shouldn't form an opinion based on just a video, but it almost made me want to go there and like live there for a while and feel what it feels like to live there. Anyways, I think most of us know what we are good at, but sometimes things in our life overshadow their significance. A few ways you can identify that is a unique skill of yours that you are being constantly complimented on. What do you love experiencing? What makes you feel complete? That is what your calling is. Hi guys, so I got kind of bored and I have thought of spicing things up a little bit. So I'll be using these Arteza iridescent paints which I specifically bought for this painting. Iridescent is basically color shifting, so I don't know if you can tell, but this shifts color. No, you cannot tell, but yeah, it shifts color. However, I don't really like these paints. They were quite expensive. I don't know why, but I don't know if I don't know how to use them, but I don't like the way it looks. It's not very vibrant. Regardless, I'm gonna be using them, so it's not gonna be as visible, but it's going to be there. When you go up close, you're gonna see it, so kind of adds to the magic of the painting. That is what I'm gonna do right now. Hi guys, so it is the next day and the iridescent layer has dried. I didn't know this, but it looks incredible and it looks more color shifty than ever. Let me show it to you. Did you see that? That's absolutely stunning. I'm so sorry Arteza for earlier, but these paints are actually worth it. I think they look incredible after drying off. Finding a balance between what you're good at and at the same time what you enjoy doing is the key here. It is almost as if you're so focused at a certain task that it is difficult to pull yourself away from it. When you're performing this activity, the million thoughts in your brain aren't what hold the power anymore. It's almost as if you've entered this meditative state, or what people often call the flow state. Entering a flow state is often described as being in the zone. It is a psychological condition where an individual experiences complete immersion and focus in an activity. In this state, you become deeply absorbed, almost losing a sense of time. The task at hand feels both challenging and achievable, creating a balance between skill and difficulty that keeps you engaged. This experience is marked by effortless concentration, intrinsic motivation, and a sense of control over your actions. While in flow, you receive immediate feedback, allowing for quick adjustments and enhancing creativity and problem-solving abilities. The activity becomes intrinsically rewarding, leading to feelings of euphoria and fulfillment. Hi guys, so today I got a lot done. I finished all of the unfinished leaves and I painted on the buds. Something that I'm really confused about is if I should draw this one here. It kind of looks disproportionate. It looks very small in front of this ginormous leaf, so I don't know if it's going to look nice or not. I think it won't, so I probably won't paint it. Let's see what happens. Hi guys, I'm getting back to the painting after a very long break, and I have decided to not paint this one. It will definitely look disproportionate because it's very small compared to the lotuses and the leaves, so I'm dropping that for now. But today I'm going to be painting the water, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and complete it, so let's see. So something that I love about this painting is the blue, the background, and I think it really goes well with the flowers and all of that. So in the water, despite it being almost black, I'm going to be adding light blue highlights and wishing that it works out. Achieving flow typically requires engaging in activities you are passionate about, setting clear goals, and minimizing distractions. Now, if I'm being completely honest, art allows me to do all that, but like I even spoke about it in the last video, to pursue it as a career, I have to constantly do things that I do not enjoy as much, and so the flow state is constantly broken for me. However, these hindrances have not resulted in the loss of love for what I do. To maintain this kind of healthy balance, I take break from activities that stop me from entering this flow state. One example being filming myself through the process. Now I know in no shape or form am I obligated to film my process, but watching these videos months after I finished my painting, it holds as a reminder or a motivating force of what I can do. Because let's be honest, we all face these waves of self-doubt once in a while. Basically, identifying these moments of absolute immersion is the key. Another way to identify this is through thinking about how you feel at the end of the day once you've performed an activity. Do you feel genuinely proud or accomplished? If you have found your calling, one way to look at it in the positive light is to think about ways how it affects the people around you. How does what you do help others? Is it by motivating them or providing them with a sense of inspiration? Or does your calling allow you to directly help out people? Helping others fosters a sense of connection and builds community. Hi guys, it's been a few hours and I'm already very tired. I am far from completion and I don't feel like completing it today. So let's see what happens. By improving the lives of others, you develop meaningful relationships and a sense of belonging, which are essential for personal fulfillment. A study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that individuals who perceive their work as a calling rather than just a job report higher levels of life satisfaction and overall well being. When we see our passion for a sense of community, even if that is small, it surely provides true satisfaction. Hi guys, so I repainted the water. The water wasn't watering. It was a learning curve since I didn't have a reference in particular. So I had to kind of imagine how the water would reflect in certain areas, and it was quite challenging. However, I think I'm figuring it out and I am going to share the technique if it looks like water, but it does now. Guys, so I've realized that I was overthinking the water too much. So I put a layer of paint on top. I'm gonna put a second layer of paint. I literally need to block in solid shapes of color and then use a lighter color to put on the waves. That's literally it, and I don't know what I was doing. So let's get back. So the water is done. I didn't film the bit because I was letting myself immerse in the process and just think about it, and I didn't want to think about anything else. Painting comes first. Here's the water. The top part is still left. I'll be adding like lotuses, the ones in the distance. So yeah. If you still feel that your calling seems very far-fetched, that your dreams are too big, even though none of that is true, I think something that helps out is thinking about people who have already accomplished them. It gives you a sense of possibility. On the other hand, if you still think you are very far from finding your calling, another thing that might help is imagining for a moment that years from now, everything that you have done has worked out. What do you imagine your life to be like? I am going to leave you guys on this question. Give yourself time to think about it. And finally, I really hope that this video gave you a sense of meaning or helped you out in some way. If that is what you felt, I encourage you guys to subscribe and like this video. It would surely allow this channel to grow and for me to continue posting. Hi guys, so I have completed the painting, but I'm gonna be adding like a honeybee and a few butterflies, which are just gonna symbolize different things, and I think that's gonna just add to the painting and the environment that it creates in the house. So I'm gonna be doing that, and then I guess I'm done. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you the very best on your journey to finding or moving towards your calling. And I am sure that you can do whatever you truly want. I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but I'm done with my painting. I cannot wait to see it hung on the wall, and let me know how you guys feel about the painting. Also, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was an incredible journey trying to make this painting true to myself and just painting from imagination and places. So I would just like to thank you all.